It was on chorusing the third "Hip Hip Hooray" that the front door burst open, and within seconds 5 men wearing balaclavas and black clothing appeared. Making these men appear even more frightening was the fact that they wore gas masks and made their way soundlessly into the lounge, preparing one to hold your breath for the destruction that was to follow. One of the gas-masked men reached out for Mary and pulled her roughly to him. Kevin put everything into his one movement and dived to rescue her. He screamed aloud, "Leave my wife! Leave my family! Take me if you want!" The balaclava thug stared with piercing blue eyes at him. For a moment he held Kevin's gaze before he took the back of his rifle and administered 3 painful blows across Kevin's head and in his face. The last words Kevin remembered were when Mary cried, "Don't hurt him!" When the thug fisted him in the gut, Kevin sank to the floor, meeting with the sound of popping shots as gas ampules from the rifles exploded, leaving fine splinters of glass to spread and gas to quickly fill the air. Kevin's mind fell into oblivion. Dark human figures swam before him, destroying every thought he had of protecting the ones closest to his heart. In the lounge, the candles on the birthday cake burned alone. 5 masked men worked silently, as if having done this task for the umpteenth time. They worked quickly, though, moving the unconscious bodies to vans parked outside the front door of Kevin's home. It was later, when in moments of coming to, that Kevin, between the nausea and dizziness, felt the vibration of the car making its way to who knows where. Without moving, he listened for familiar sounds, but he faded into unconsciousness time and again. It was some time later when, on opening his eyes slightly, he found that he was sprawled out on the seat of a plane. In the half-dark, he could make out the silhouettes of the children lying, also asleep, in seats near him. He did not hear anything other than the engine of the plane. Nausea welled up when the plane lifted and fell suddenly on hitting the air pockets. The nausea could also be from the drug that they're injecting into me, or the strength of it, he muttered. It was some time later when he again came to, and on opening his eyes, the first thing he saw was the figures of 2 men in the front seat of the luxury motor car that he was being transported in. He realized that the motor engine had stopped, and he listened closely at the moment a ship's horn sounded, while a bright, flashing light directed at the motor car lit up all around. The conversation from the ones sitting in the front seats was heard when the driver said, "So that is the ship waiting to take them to their destiny. Geez, how many people are they expecting? Included in the 50 perfect families of 5, there are 3 children, 2 girls and a boy." Again, darkness overcame Kevin, and when he came to, he was on board a ship, and as the horn sounded, it seemed relieved at setting out to the freedom of the open sea and this, in the still of the night. Kevin tried his best to open his eyes. "I must save my family. Where is my family?" he muttered while trying hard to steady his disorientated self. In the dim light he could make out 11-year-old Alicia lying on a bunk. He rose, though half stumbling, and made his way over to her, soothing. "My angel, are you okay?" She was in a deep sleep and did not respond. At another bunk, Emma was breathing noisily. Kevin turned her slightly into a more comfortable position, and she started to breathe as if more relaxed. He kissed the 17-year-old on her cheek and made his way to David, lying on the furthest bunk. David, too, was in a deep sleep. His father kissed his cheek, and by this time Kevin's brain started to tumble, and before blacking out, he fell face down onto the bunk where he had previously lain.